In 2025, the United States will introduce a ban on immigration from 5 Asian countries. This new policy is creating widespread debate, and in today's discussion, we'll explain which countries are affected and the reasons behind the decision. Let's take a closer look at these dramatic changes in U.S. visa regulations. Bangladesh at number 5 is Bangladesh. Why has Bangladesh been included in the 2025 immigration ban? The primary concern is visa overstays. A large number of Bangladeshi nationals legally enter the U.S. on work or student visas, but many remain in the country beyond their authorized stay. Overstaying a visa is considered a serious violation of U.S. immigration law and places significant strain on the system. This issue is not only about individuals remaining illegally but also about the challenges it creates for immigration authorities in monitoring legal status. When large numbers of people overstay their visas, it becomes increasingly difficult to manage and adds to the population of undocumented immigrants. Another key factor is Bangladesh's lack of cooperation with deportation efforts. When Bangladeshi nationals are ordered to leave the U.S. due to overstays or other violations, the government of Bangladesh has often been accused of delaying or refusing to accept deportees. This lack of cooperation causes significant delays, complicating enforcement and weakening U.S. immigration control. As a result, under Trump's proposed 2025 immigration policy, all types of visas for Bangladeshi citizens, including tourist, student, and work visas, will be suspended. This will prevent thousands of people from pursuing opportunities such as education, employment, or family reunification in the U.S. Critics argue that such a decision unfairly punishes law-abiding individuals, while Trump's administration defends it as a necessary measure to uphold the immigration system's integrity and send a firm message to uncooperative countries. The outcome is a major obstacle for many Bangladeshis, leaving fewer opportunities to visit or migrate to the U.S. While critics call the move overly harsh, Trump insists it is vital for addressing visa abuse and enforcing compliance. Myanmar at number 4 is Myanmar. Why is Myanmar included in the 2025 U.S. immigration ban? The primary reason is political instability. Since the military coup in 2021, Myanmar has been engulfed in conflict, including civil war, ethnic clashes, and ongoing resistance movements. Why does this matter for immigration? A nation in turmoil makes it nearly impossible to reliably screen individuals seeking entry. The U.S. faces significant challenges in verifying the backgrounds of refugees and immigrants from Myanmar, raising concerns that unchecked entry could pose security risks. Another problem is inadequate documentation. Many refugees and migrants from Myanmar lack proper identification papers, making it difficult for U.S. immigration authorities to confirm their identities or conduct thorough background checks. These gaps are considered too dangerous to overlook, especially when national security is a top priority. Trump's 2025 plan therefore calls for a complete halt to immigration from Myanmar, affecting refugees, family reunification, students, and tourists alike. For those fleeing violence, the U.S. will no longer be an option. Humanitarian organizations have strongly criticized this decision, arguing that it abandons innocent civilians trapped in a war-torn country. However, the Trump administration defends the move as a necessary measure to prevent potential threats. The result is devastating for many Myanmar citizens who had hoped for safety, education, or family reunification in the U.S. While opponents call the decision unfair, the administration remains focused on prioritizing national security over humanitarian concerns. Malaysia number 3 on the list is Malaysia. Why is Malaysia subject to the 2025 immigration ban? The main issue, once again, is visa overstays and illegal immigration. A significant number of Malaysians enter the U.S. legally but remain after their visas expire, complicating immigration enforcement. In addition, Malaysia has been criticized for not cooperating with U.S. deportation requests. When asked to accept back nationals residing illegally in the U.S., the process has often been slow or obstructed. This lack of cooperation signals, according to Trump's administration, a disregard for immigration laws and undermines U.S. enforcement efforts. Because of this, the 2025 ban will restrict Malaysian citizens from obtaining tourist visas, student visas, work permits, and family-based visas. Malaysians planning to study, work, or reunite with family in the U.S. will be barred from entry. While the ban won't affect those who already hold valid visas, it will block future opportunities for many. Critics argue that this is an excessive response to systemic problems within Malaysia's immigration oversight. Still, Trump's administration insists that strict enforcement is essential, even if it negatively impacts law-abiding citizens. The result will likely be fewer opportunities for Malaysians in the U.S. and a strained bilateral relationship. China at number 2 is China. Why has China been included in the U.S. immigration ban for 2025? The most pressing concern is national security. U.S. authorities, particularly under Trump, argue that some Chinese nationals misuse student and work visas to engage in espionage, gathering sensitive research, technology, and military information. Intellectual property theft is another major issue. Many U.S. companies have accused Chinese businesses, with alleged government backing, of stealing designs, inventions, and trade secrets. As a result, Trump's policy seeks to reduce the number of Chinese nationals entering the U.S., especially in fields such as engineering, robotics, and computer science. The 2025 ban includes student visas, work permits, and research exchanges, while tourists and business travelers may face stricter restrictions. This will prevent thousands of Chinese students from attending U.S. universities and block researchers from collaborating with American institutions. Critics argue that this policy unfairly harms honest individuals pursuing academic or professional goals. While it may reduce certain risks, the ban also threatens to weaken U.S. universities and companies by cutting off access to top talent. It further escalates already tense relations between the U.S. and China. India finally, at number 1 is India. Why has India been added to the U.S. immigration ban list for 2025? One of the biggest concerns is misuse of the H-1B visa program, which allows skilled workers, often in technology and engineering, to work in the U.S. Some U.S. officials claim that certain companies exploit this system by hiring large groups of Indian workers at lower wages, which they argue displaces American employees. There has also been a sharp increase in fraudulent student visa applications. Cases of falsified admission letters and financial documents have raised doubts about the authenticity of many applications, making it harder for U.S. authorities to trust student entries from India. In addition, visa overstays among Indian nationals have risen in recent years, adding to the undocumented population. Taken together, these issues have prompted Trump's administration to restrict several categories of visas, including H-1B work permits, student visas, and family-based visas. This decision will have a major impact on Indians who had hoped to pursue education, employment, or family reunification in the U.S. Tech workers may lose job offers, students could miss scholarships, and families will face delays or cancellations of reunification plans. Critics argue the policy punishes honest applicants, while Trump's administration maintains that it is necessary to reform the system and curb abuse. For many Indians, this ban feels like a significant setback, generating frustration and fear among those with aspirations tied to the U.S. That concludes the breakdown of the U.S. visa bans in 2025. Do you agree with these decisions, or do you think they go too far? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay updated with the latest global immigration news.